Many are a fan of mysteries. The ever-known enigma the world possesses, where a lot could be learned, has inspired us today. A pleasant day to everyone, to our respected panelists. We are from BSIT 3D presenting to you a project for the College of Computer Studies in partial fulfillment of the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. Our game, The Investigator, Paths on Way Out of Bounds. Or briefly called The Investigator, it is an item search escape mystery role playing game that revolves around the life of an investigator being assigned in one of the most unsolved mysteries in his time. As the investigation sets in motion, he discovered clues that leads him to a place where he can never be found unless he could find the way out amidst past out of bounds. About the game, first and foremost, our very own team of developers we have called Reverence Limited is the name we have visualized to carry throughout our future endeavors. For this project, the organization or the developers have requested students as their end users, aiming to create games unique but mutually beneficial to both parties.
Besides, they are my teammates, Ronaldo Jr., who did the back-end coding, and I am Vina Dizon, the content graphic designer and documentary, and lastly, Emmalyn Villanueva, the designer front-end.
So the main purpose of this project is to provide entertainment mainly for grade 9 students of Pinagbuhatan High School under the advisory of Mr. Cirilo E. Saludes Jr. while practicing their skills in mathematical problem solving and to experience the thrills and satisfaction that this video game has. The creation of this video game could serve as a game changer for certain students who no longer see the value of mathematics. This can also be the vital basis for future improvements, not only in the industry of gaming, specifically in the genre of problem solving mysteries, but also with the developers who will continuously aim to hone and maintain skills in regards to video game developing and also in teaching mathematics to make it more interesting yet cultured. This video game will be released as a Windows application. Developing a hybrid type of gameplay can cause a massive impact in gaming industry, for it will encourage other game developers to create a video game that does not stick to just one genre but two or more genres at once. In a matter of business, this program will earn much of an income from different product advertisements that we can add to the video game system. Future releasing of DLCs or downloadable contents are possible as well for the developers to earn with additional services. The reason behind this research project is to provide entertainment and knowledge to consumers. The developers are looking forward to share knowledgeable ideas in certain problems or scenarios, including basic mathematics. Having an investigator as the main character of this video game could inspire the consumers solve some real-life mysteries with fair conclusions. In addition, the developers also want to make a profitable business while providing a thrilling and exciting entertainment in a form of a video game.
Our statement of the problem is to create entertaining yet knowledgeable storyline. With this, by implementing new game button that will redirect the user to the game proper in which the storyline will initiate. By then, the levels that contains real-life challenges with mathematical logics will follow. Next is to include the level of difficulty for games. By adding three difficulty level buttons in the settings, namely easy, normal, and insane, is to give the players the freedom to choose the level of challenge in game. The next is to save the player's current game progress in exiting the game. With this, applying save button for each level that provides a convenient way to save the player's current game's progress. When a player loses or is about to lose a game, the save data can be loaded, effectively going back in time the situation before the defeat. This prevents the player from losing the game. The next one is to develop in-game options such as in-game muting and volumes without interfering the original device's settings outside the game. By this, the use of checkbox option, the user will have the ability to mute the in-game audio, to re-enable the sound, which they will press the mute button or setting again. This feature may also be known as hide or ignore. The next is to create chapter selection for the game. By selecting chapter select, you can use or replay a certain chapter of the game. The specific chapter selection won't be available to play until the specific level is finished. And lastly, we have to correlate mathematical problems and logics with levels. By relating some of the pre-existing mathematical equations and formulas to specific levels, while pertaining basic mathematical and real-life logics, doing so will attract more students to try the game.
Under the scope of the program is its storyline, in order to satisfy the idea of a role-playing game in which players will play as the main protagonist. Level of difficulties, a feature which allows players to manipulate an adjustable setting that controls how challenging a game is to play. This game also has a save game feature for players to record and save their game progress in a game database. A chapter select, which is the ability of a player to choose a specific chapter to play, but only the chapters or levels that the players have already finished. The players can go back to the very first chapter they wish to and replay the entire game all over again as long as they want to. This game also features mathematical problems and logic to challenge the users with mathematical problem solving. This game is also entirely point and click, in which the players will only have to play the game using a mouse. Hints are also available in this game, in which are indirect instructions. The program also has purchasable features, where it requires internet connection to buy some of the game features using in-game currency.
The architectural framework involves the users, players which are connected to the game interfaces. Each game interface is connected to a specific computer. All of the computers gather and disperse data from the internet to game interfaces and users and vice versa. So here's the company logo, and here's the loading screen. And some in-game tips. You can save your progress in the save button at the upper right corner. You can adjust the game difficulty level in the settings. And also you can buy hints on purchasables. So if we click continue, the game will redirect us to the main menu. And here it is.
Upon launching the game, we are greeted by the title, its loading screen with in-game tips randomly shown. After it has loaded, there are a set of buttons which has its own functions. The New Game button opens up the game from its start and creates a new data, while the next button below is the Load Game, which loads a previously saved game.
The next one is the settings. It is also for configurations and other minor options. And next, purchasable button. It will redirect the users to online purchasable. And we have the chapter select button, which leads the users to the list of completed chapters that are available to jump on. And lastly, we have the exit button. Choosing yes in the question box prompt will automatically terminate the system program.
So now let's take a look into the buttons and options that they have discussed. So first we go to the load game, and here's the load save data. So we're gonna clear this first. And then we go to the chapter select. So here we have no available chapters yet. And to the settings, we're gonna play in easy mode. So here's the level of difficulty, and we can mute and then mute the audio in the setting. So going back to the main menu, exit, there's the exit prompt. And to the purchasables, here we can buy the available hint for each levels to help us in solving riddles for them. So I'm gonna reset it first. This button is for the debugging purposes only, and the button right here is to will redirect us going back to the main menu. And so clicking new game. The first cutscene is the introduction of the protagonist or the main character of this video game system. So to make it short, we're gonna skip this one. And now we have the first challenge, level 1. Defuse a bomb in 2 minutes. So instruction, click and eliminate 3 defusing bars without hitting 2 explosive ones. So if we click the wrong defusing bars, and here we have 2 options, going back to the main menu or retry. So same thing goes if the timer runs out. And so we have clues here, and now we're gonna click the right answer for this specific riddle, and then we're gonna go continue, another cutscene, skip, another cutscene. So it's better for the user to watch all the cutscenes as much as possible, so the user can understand more about the specific levels and how to solve. So we're gonna try to save this progress and try to answer this. Black hair strand, bloody knife, and syringe. Continue. So I'm gonna skip this, another storyline here. Going back to the main menu, let's buy some hints for level 2 and 3. Oh, not enough coins. So let's try to play the level 2 again. And now we have this option right here, watch ad for hints. Play this. The program will display an ad. And after that, here you go. Look for a sharp, tiny black line. So that's the hint. So there's a tiny black line here. Bloody knife. Let's continue. Escape cutscenes. Here's another level. And then so for this level, you have to identify the suspect responsible for the death of the 2 blonde women. So based on the evidences that we have gathered, the black hair strand. So among these suspects, it's most likely the doctor here. So prosecute the doctor and try to submit the evidence that we have gathered. So for example, the black hair strand. Submit the evidence. And he will plead guilty. So this is another cutscene. Continue. Then skip. So this is the first level where mathematics, logicals, and problems will take place. So in this level, the specific answers are 105 cm, then 5 cm, and 20 centimeters. Submit. Let's try to save this progress here. this the final level that we have created for this presentation. So going back to the main menu, let's save this progress first. Going back to the main menu, and we saw earlier we don't have anything inside this data and save data. So let's try to load this, and there you go. You can adjust the difficulty level in game, by the way. So going back to the main menu, and here's a chapter select. It will only display the level that the user have already finished in related to the load save data that we have here. So that's it for this game. Exit.
That is all for our presentation. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.